All right, Sonny Trigg, the Swimsuit Guy. Welcome to the show, mate. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Brett. Thanks for having me on.
Where are you coming from right now?
So I'm in Colchester in Essex in the United Kingdom, about an hour from London. So there's not a lot going on here, but it's all right.
Coming from the bunker in England. I like it. Now, you're a swim fan like I am, and you're really into ISL right now. I love the stuff that you're putting out, the reviews and all the analysis, and just love following you along. And you're fun. You do a lot of fun stuff, mate. But let's talk ISL for a moment. It's been pretty crazy, pretty wild so far, hey?
It's slapped us in the face. It's been non-stop for 4 days. I've just been trying to eat up as much information as I can and just enjoying watching it. I've had the boys over watching it, and we're getting excited. We're supporting everyone. We're not really too into one team, but it's just been some great races, some close racing, and already some extraordinary performances. Like some of the stuff, Lily King's skins, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Like to finish 350s, 0.3 off the world record in a 50 breast. What on earth did it take to do that?
Unbelievable, isn't it? She does not hurt. She doesn't feel pain, does she?
Like I was watching that thinking, the first two, it didn't look like she was giving it her all. And in my head, I'm thinking, she's like negative splitting these. She's going to get bigger on the last one. And then, yeah, she does. She gets faster again. And I was just like, unreal.
Mate, you seem to have spent a bit of time digging into the numbers and trying to figure out how this is all calculated. Can you explain it to us?
So I think the biggest thing people are like getting a bit unsure about is this jackpot rule they've introduced this year. And potentially it was introduced to try and balance things out. But what it's ended up doing is just means if you're doing well, you're going to score more points. And if you're not doing well, you're going to score nothing. And there's a time which I think is derived from the world record. So I think 4% of the world record is the buffer time for the jackpot. So in the men's 50 freestyle, the world record is 20.2. 4% of that is about 0.85. So if the winner is 0.85 or more above any of the other finishers, they will get their points stolen. So it's happening a lot. I think I've got the numbers here. In match one, there was 7 races of the 40 or so races that didn't have a jackpot in it. And in match two, only 5 events of the 39 events didn't have a jackpot sort of system come into play.
And so this jackpot, how are they calculating it so quick? They must just have a formula of some sort, do they?
That I don't know, because I can't process it because we're not getting the times on the broadcast. But there's generally is like sometimes they're right on it and they're putting it on the lanes who got their points stolen. Sometimes it looks like there's a little bit more time. But yeah, I'm guessing they've got a formula in the system with the events, with the buffers, and it sort of just spitting it out for them, fortunately.
Well, let's go through it. Let's go first impressions, the good stuff. Talk to us about the stuff that you're really enjoying.
I think this ISL, much more than last ISL, seems like a team event. The guys are training within their teams in Budapest on a daily basis. There seems like the guys in each team really do want their teams to succeed. And that's shown in some really competitive races. I think in today's match, we had the mixed 4x100 freestyle relay, and there was 3 women coming down that last 25, neck and neck. And DC Trident just about got it over London Raw. And you could just see that, yeah, there is a little bit of pride for your team and wanting to win, more than just an individual performance. And yeah, there's been a lot of just great close races, which as a swimming fan it's what we want to watch: fast, close racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we still have another whole group of teams to jump out. Do they start tomorrow?
No, so I think we're going to get a little bit of rest, and I think next Friday we're going to see, or this Friday, sorry, we're going to see the other teams come into action in Toronto and Tokyo.
Okay, I have to really dig into the schedule because it's still a little bit confusing. It just seems to be everywhere. But it's nice that there's some more teams coming in. It certainly adds to the mix, you know. But what about things that you've struggled with so far in terms of this ISL?
Well, obviously, like yourself, Brett, I'm watching it on one of the broadcast methods. And there's just things as a swimming fan that I want to know. And like times at the very simplest form, I just want to know what first to eighth went in each event. You know, I might have a more interest in a certain swimmer who comes fourth, but I want to know if they've gone a PB. I want to know if they're swimming well. And we don't get that. We get first place. Sometimes the commentators will tell us second or third, but for the most part, we're not getting the full range of times. And that, as a swimming fan, is what I love to digest. I love looking through the results as much as I do actually watching the swimming happening. So I'd love to see the times just being thrown up on the screen. Like, I don't think it will alienate anyone. I don't think it will stop anyone wanting to watch the ISL. I think it will just enrich an already great experience.
Yeah, well, there seems to be a very conscious movement to stay away from doing that. What do you think the idea behind it really is?
I think at the purest form, they just want it to be about racing. And I don't think they want maybe someone who doesn't know too much about swimming going, they're saying this is the fastest swimming in the world, but we're looking at the times compared to the world record, and they're 11 seconds off. The women's 400 IM today was Katinka won it in world record plus 11, probably PB plus 10 for herself. So I don't think people, they want, the ISL want people thinking, why are we getting invested in a slow race? All that matters is where they all come and how many points they're getting for the team, which is fine. I think, if anything, it will make it exciting, because I think as the rounds go on, the swimmers are going to get quicker. So, and then we can track that as fans. Wow, so-and-so went that time on round one. Match 3, they're going 4, 5, 6 seconds quicker. Yeah.
And then what's your take on, a couple of people that have surprised you so far? Who've jumped out at you in the last 4 days that maybe surprised you?
I think in the latest match, the German backstroker, Dina, he was phenomenal. Like, his underwaters. And yeah, he won the 200 back. He won the 50 back. He was great in the 100 back. He won the skins. So he was definitely not on my radar going into it. And he was phenomenal. Another great standout today. Less of a surprise, but for the first meet, Zach Apple going 45.7 and relay spitting 45.1. They're extraordinary times. And Marco Koch yesterday in the 200 breaststroke, or 3 days ago, 2:02.1. He is a previous world record holder in the event, but I've not seen him race at a top level in 3 years, and he just absolutely dominated that first day. And I think he was the first person to really jackpot a lot of points and show everyone how many points you can win in a single race.
Yeah. What about on the female side? Any standouts there?
One of the NCAA swimmers, Beta Nelson. I think everyone in America probably knows who she is, because I think she's one of the fastest 100-yard backstrokers of all time. But first short course meet, as far as I know, probably for her, or short course meters. 56.2 in the 100 back, 2:02 in the 200 back. So she didn't win any events, but second behind people like Emily Seabon and Olivia Smaliga is not shabby for your first short course meter meet.
Yeah, yeah. What's your take on Adam Peaty getting beaten? Is it a big deal for you, or it's whatever?
I don't think it's as much of a surprise, because he's not the world record holder in the short course meter format, and it's sort of known that his turns and his starts are the weakest area of someone who is by far the fastest swimmer on the surface. So I think if this ISL was long course, no one would have touched him. I think short course meters, he's going to get faster and faster. I still think that 100 breaststroke world record is going to go, but I'm not saying Adam Peaty would take it. I think there's a few other guys. Ilya Shimonovich, he looks fantastic. Real 25.6 in the 50 and 56.0 in the relay. When him and Peaty go head to head, that's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what about just the visuals? How's it coming across on TV for you as a fan? I don't want to be too hard. It's a hit and miss, I'll say. I love when they're doing it well, it looks great. But sometimes they're just, I think, trying to be a bit too artsy with the angles. I just want to, that they sometimes show a bird's eye view where you can see lanes 1 to 8 and you can just see where the race is going. And with the format, it's not spearheaded. So lane 8 can win, lane 2 can win. And I just want to be able to see the race pan out, especially in the 50s where it's just like over. I don't want to see an underwater footage at the turn. So I'd love them just to play that bird's eye view and then maybe go,
in the replays, they show the underwater. We can see the fly kicks. They show some different angles in the replays. But I love all the graphics. I love how cool the vibe there looks amazing. You was there last year, so you'll know more than me. But the lights, the arena, it looks like the coolest meet in the world.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. Actually, we struggled last year with one of the meets because they keep it so dark and they just kind of light the pool up every now and then. We were actually backstage and it was so dark back there that the athletes were getting sleepy. So we had to kind of push them out into more of the warm-up pool so they were away from the pool deck a little bit. So there was a little bit of disconnect. So yeah, there's certainly challenges with it. I think visually it comes across okay. What about the commentary? Are you happy with the commentary so far?
There's no one who can get someone more excited for a race than Rowdy Gaines. I think his enthusiasm and excitement just really does get you involved in the race. I think from a non-American standpoint, he needs to make sure he's given as much attention to the Americans or the non-Americans as he is the Americans. I think that will come because he is obviously broadcasting for the whole world for this ISL, not just the American CBC. Oh no, CBC. Who plays it in America?
CBS.
CBS. He's not just broadcasting for CBS. He's doing the whole world. So maybe just take a little bit more focus on the international athletes. But yeah, when it comes to hyping up a race, it gets you excited. That's 100%.
So just impressions of the first two meets. What's your major takeaways, you think?
I think Cali are going to be unstoppable. I think they've got so much depth. I can't wait to see them going head-to-head with London after London winning today's meet. And I think there's going to be some fast swimming. I love fast swimming. I think you love fast swimming, don't you, Brett?
I love it, yeah.
And I think we're going to see world records in this ISL season.
I did see your world record prediction take on that. So just based on what you've seen so far, what do you think is the first event that's going to go on the world record?
Women's 50 backstroke. Smliga's been 0.7 off it, and now Toussaint has been 0.8 off it. So two women have already been within 0.1 of the 50 back world record.
That's definitely the closest. Now, you did say that Cali had depth, but to me it seems like it's not necessarily about depth, because especially if you're stealing points off other athletes, it seems like it just comes down to who's got the superstars. You know, if you've got Lily King, who's unbeatable, if you've got Caleb Dressel, who is unbeatable, and they're stealing all these points from everybody else, I mean, sure, it's nice to have other great athletes, but it really comes down to who's got the biggest superstars, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much. So, like, yeah, that is definitely the other side. And I think I saw published somewhere that when they didn't do well, they were coming 7th or 8th and getting their points stolen. But between Melanie Margalis, I'm probably butchering her name, Lily King, Olivia Smliga, Caleb Dressel, just destroying points. That probably between them four athletes, you could probably have beaten another team. So yeah, maybe it is the superstar approach to it.
Well, based on that, who do you think the best of the rest is with teams that we haven't seen? I mean, you've gone down the list of some of the other teams that haven't raced yet. Who do you think has a chance to maybe be up there with these teams?
I'm super excited for the Tokyo Frog Kings. They've got some great swimmers. They've just been racing at the Japanese Short Course Championships, and they've got a new young breaststroker called Sato, who's just absolutely popping off at the moment. They've got Kazuke Higino, who's back in strong form. They've got the great Ryo Ahoshi. I can't say the Japanese names. Ryo Ahoshi, great medley swimmer who's swimming really well at the Japanese champs. And they've also got some international stars like Leah Smith and Vlad Morozov. So I think Tokyo Frog Kings, they're gonna cause a little bit of a stir next weekend, and their logo's sick as well.
Yeah, it is pretty sick. Now, listen, you are the Swimsuit Guy, and people can find you on your YouTube channel. What is it? Just the Swimsuit Guy?
The YouTube is the Swimsuit Guy. Instagram is at the Swimsuit Guy 95. That's pretty much it. Yeah, check me out.
Awesome. Well, based on that information, what's the number one suit on the market according to you?
The Mizuno GX Sonic. Any of their models, they're amazing. Yeah, they're still a bit ahead. I'm wearing a Mizuno shirt right now. I'm not affiliated in any way. I'd love to be affiliated, but I'm not affiliated.
Should be, mate. Should be getting that Mizuno cash. Come on.
But yeah, Mizuno's great. Yeah, awesome stuff.
Well, listen, mate, we'll check in again. Let's stay on this, and we'll figure it out. And it's a lot of fun going forward, right?
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm just so much time about racing. It's just been like Christmas come early.
All right, love it, Sonny. Take care, buddy.
Cheers, Brett.
See you, mate.